ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So before we go ahead with our 24th chapter of this 5th canto, quick summary we will do of the structure of the universe that we have been studying. So I'm going to share here on the screen some diagrammatic references. Okay, so we saw this on the top of mountain Sumeru is this. These are the different puris, and Brahmapuri is in the center, and Gangaji flows. We saw from Dhruvaloka, she comes here to Brahmapuri. Before that, she is from the feet of Vishnu Bhagavan, then to the Saptarishis, then to Dhruvaloka, then to Brahmapuri, all that. So this Brahmapuri, when it falls into, it divides into four: Chakshu, Bhadra, Sita, Alaknanda. This is one aspect. Then, so this is what we saw. Brahmapuri and Gangaji flows onto these four down into this aspect, which is the different varshas which are there. So this is Gandhamadan mountain, all the mountains, etc., which we had seen. So Shringavan, Shveta, Nila, Gandhamadana, Nishada, Hemakuta, Himalaya. Sumeru is in between, in the center. This is Malyavan, this side one. So these four blue colors, these are the four streams: Sita, Bhadra, Chakshu, and Alaknanda. So Kesarachal mountain, Sumeru mountain. So this is one depiction that was given. Then these are the Lokapalas around this Brahmapuri. So all these: Gandhavati, Mahodaya, Yashovati, Amravati, Tejovati, Sanyamni, and Krishnangana. This also we had seen. And these are the different deities: Vayu, Kuvera, Shiva, Indra, Agni, Yama, Nriti, Varuna. Around Manovati, Brahmapuri is also called Manovati. So Brahmaji is there. Now, these are the Varshas that we saw. So Jambu Dvipa by itself. There are all these other Shalmali Dvipa, those different Dvipas which are there. In that Jambu Dvipa, this is a division of Jambu Dvipa. So, this one minute. So the Jambu Dvipa is divided into these various Varshas: Kuru Varsha, Hiranmaya Varsha, Ramyaka Varsha, Hari Varsha, Kimbhrusha Varsha, Bharat Varsha, Ketumala Varsha, Bhadrashva Varsha. So these are the 9 Varshas. 7 islands in that Jambu Dvipa is one. Each of the islands is surrounded by a different type of an ocean. So that We'll again come back to that. That also has a photograph. This is specifically for Jambudvipa. So different varshas in that we saw different deities being worshipped by the different inhabitants. So these are those. In Kuru Varsha, Varaha, Prithvi Devi is worshipping Varaha. Hiranmaya Varsha, Aryama is worshipping Kurma Bhagwan. Ramyaka Varsha, Manu is worshipping Matsya Avatar. Ketumala Varsha, Rishikesha Bhagwan is being worshipped and Lakshmi is being worshipped. Ilavrata Varsha, Sankarshan Bhagwan is being worshipped by Shiva. So Lakshmi is worshipping Rishikesha here, sorry. Here it is Bhadrashva worshipping Hayashirsha in Bhadrashva Varsha. Then Prahlad is worshipping Nrsimha in Hari Varsha. Kim Purusha Varsha, Hanumanji and Sugriva are worshipping Bhagwan Ram. Bharat Varsha, Naradji is worshipping Nar Narayan Rishi. Give me a minute. So these are the varshas. We saw each of the varshas, the prayers which are being done, the mantra of that particular deity, all that we saw. Then the description of Mount Sumeru, which is there in the center. So this Ilavrata Varsha is in the center here. That around that Mount Meru, Sumeru are all these. So Meru Mandara and this, we'll zoom a little more. So you see here now. So each place we had seen what type of a lake is there, what type of a tree is there, why this particular place is. So Mount Kumuda, pure water lake, and then Shatavalsha tree is there. Then the rivers that supply milk and yogurt. All this is in this. Each of these we have seen earlier. So Milk Lake, Nandana Garden, Devachyuta mango tree. This is Mount Mandara, this Kumuda. Then Suparshva. So sugarcane juice lake and Vaibhrajaka garden, Mahakadamba tree, Honey river is here. This is Arunoda river. And then this Mount Meru Mandara. So Chitraratha garden, Honey lake, Jambu river and Jambu tree. So all this description has come. This is there in one of the books of ISKCON. So they have made it nicely with this diagrams and all that. See this. Jambu Dvipa, Plaksha Dvipa, Shalmali Dvipa, all these, each Dvipa. So the centermost one is the Jambu Dvipa, this. Then there is saltwater ocean around it. Then there is this one, which is Plaksha Dvipa. Then sugarcane juice around it. Ocean. Then you have Shalmali Dvipa. The liquor ocean around it. Like that, these Dvipas are there, 7 of them, and each of them have a different ocean around it. We will see that. This is the big picture of the cross section of Jambu Dvipa. Only Jambu Dvipa, that center na, in between. Sorry, this is a cross section of the whole, all the 7 Dvipas. Sorry, not the Jambu Dvipa. Jambu Dvipa we saw earlier, those 9 varshas. This is the cross section of the whole this Bhumandala. So you find this Jambu Dvipa right in the center, then this saltwater ocean, then brown color. This is, so this Plaksha Dvipa, then sugarcane juice, then Shalmali Dvipa, liquor juice. All these are oceans, liquor ocean. Then Kusha Dvipa, clarified butter ocean. Then Krauncha Dvipa, milk ocean. Shaka Dvipa, emulsified yogurt ocean, Pushkara Dvipa, this one. And then this is the sweet drinking water ocean. Then there is a golden land, which is this, and Mount Loka Loka, and Loka Varsha, the peak. Aloka Varsha, sorry, not Loka Varsha, Aloka Varsha. Then all these are what we already saw: Devadhani, Samyamani, Nimla Lochani, Vibhavari. They all are where? On the top of this Sumeru, in the Jambudvipa. This is Mount Sumeru in the center of Jambudvipa. On top of that is this. So this is one structure only of Bhumandala. Bhumandala is this much. Now, what we just saw was this horizontal cross section of this Bhumandala with Mount Sumeru and all the other things around. Now, below, these are the lower planetary systems: Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala, these 7. Now, we think of these as hell, actually, but in Bhagavatam, these are all heavens. They are the heavens below the earth. So there are 7 levels of heaven above the earth, 7 levels of heaven below the earth. And these 7 levels of heaven below the earth are greater than heaven above the earth. I am also coming to know of this now only. We have already been taught that, 7 levels below are the hells. But Bhagavatam here it is saying there are 7 heavens below. They are subterranean heavenly planets. Below these are the hellish planets. Those are 28. So here you see this, below Patal is this hellish planet. That will come in the 25th chapter and all that, that will come. Or 26th chapter, sorry. 26th chapter, this hell will come. All descriptions of hell, various types of hell. So these are below and these are heavenly realms. So this is the whole big structure. Garbhodaka ocean, then Lord Ananta, then come these 28 hellish planets, then Patal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Talatal, Sutal, Vital, Atal. This is all below the cross section of the earth. Don't forget that. On the earth, we have Mount Sumeru. They have shown this as Mount Sumeru here, Loka Loka, on 2 sides. This in-between space is called Bhuvar Loka. So this is Bhumandala. Then this in-between space is Bhuvar Loka, where all these Siddhas and Charanas and the Sun and the Ketu and Rahu and all these are there. Then you have above are the 28 nakshatras, then Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, then the Saptarishis, Dhruva Loka, Mahar Loka, Jana Loka, Tapa Loka, Satya Loka. This earth, water, fire, 5 elements basically, Pancha Tattvas they are: earth, water, fire, air, ether, then Ahankar, Mahat Tattva, and Brahman, which they call as otherwise spiritual world and Vaikuntha. So this is the whole description as per Bhagavatam here. And right now we are in this portion. This Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala. Those are subterranean heavens. So that's where we had stopped in this chapter 24. They are called Bilasvarga. All these, these 7 below, Atala, Vitala up to Patala, they are called Bilasvarga. So this, what is a Bilasvarga? So it is said that in this Bilasvarga there are beautiful houses, gardens, palaces of sense enjoyment. They are more opulent than higher heavens. Then most of the residents of Bilasvarga are Daityas, Danavas, Nagas. They live as householders. So their wives, children, friends, society are all fully engaged in illusory material happiness, Maya Vinoda, with desires more unimpeded than in heaven. Acha Swamiji, what should we do to go to these places? Become Daityas. This is Maya Vinoda. The enjoyment is apparently much more, but it is illusory. And why it is Maya Vinoda? Because Maya Danav. So Maya Vinoda, Maya Danav is the famous architect who even made the um, Indraprastha. It was built by Maya Danav for Pandavas. So this Maya Danav, an expert artist and architect, has constructed many brilliant cities there with wonderful houses, walls, gates, assembly houses, temples, resting places, all that. And the houses for the leaders are constructed with most valuable jewels, and they are always crowded with nagas and asuras, as well as many pigeons, parrots, and similar birds. So this description of this Bilaswarga keeps coming. Parks and gardens surpass the beauty of those in the heavenly planets. The trees embraced by creepers, bent with the burden of twigs with fruits, flowers, attract anyone and make his mind fully blossom in the pleasure of sense gratification. The lakes and the reservoirs with clear water are agitated by jumping fish decorated with many flowers. Pairs of chakravakas and other water birds nest in the lakes. So beautiful description comes of all this. The Bilaswarga. So there is no sunshine there. Time is not divided into days and nights, and consequently, fear produced by time does not exist. Then, how is there light? So the gems on the head of the serpents drive away all the darkness. The gems. They take elixirs and juices made from divine herbs. They don't experience anxiety, disease, gray hair, wrinkles, discoloration of the body, foul perspiration, or fatigue due to old age. None of this is there. Think about it if you want to go there. Seems to be most luxurious place in the whole creation. They have no fear, so they live comfortably. They do not fear death from anything, but the Lord's effulgence called Sudarshan Chakra. They fear only that. The pregnant wives of these demons have miscarriages due to the fear of its effulgence. So now this is Bilaswarga. Karmas will lead a person to this, depending on whatever punya karma if one does, one will go to the heavens. Papa karma when one does, one goes to the hell. So that hell part of it will come later on. And which type of papa karma is done to go to which level of hell. So 28 descriptions are given of 28 places where one will go. If someone does some karmas which are mixture of punya, papa, they may come here where papa element is much more, punya element is much lesser. Then they may come here because they become daityas and nagas and danavas and all that. Then they can come here. Like how devatas have their abode, which is the heavens, danavas and daityas have abode which is down, below the earth. So above the earth, below the earth. Now this goes on to explain each of these svargas. These are general characteristics of all the 7. Now each of them, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, please remember this chapter, Canto number 5, is to make us understand that Bhagavan is the sthanam. So, Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Pushanam, Otayah, like that, these are 10 topics of Bhagavatam. So, Sarga was done in the 3rd canto. So, first was Adhikari Skanda, then Sadhana Skanda, then 10 chapters, the 10 cantos are the 10 topics of a Mahapuran. So, 3rd was Sarga, fourth is Visarga, fifth is Sthanam. Sthanam means Bhagavan is the abode substratum in which the whole creation appears. So this whole thing is one appearance of the Lord. That we should not forget. We should not get caught कि भाई हमारा तो Venus, Mercury and Venus come much closer to the sun. Then there is Earth. Then there is Mars. We have studied like that in this solar system, but here it is saying Sun and then the Earth and then the Mercury, then the Venus. And don't get lost in all that. Idea here is very simple. This is appearance of the divine. As I said earlier, some things may tally with our present universe, some things may not tally. Our main focus is to know that this whole thing is the appearance of Bhagavan, so worship the Lord through the creation also. And also to understand laws of karma, etc. And the purpose of study of this scripture is what all these lokas, etc. When one studies, then the incidents that happen there, the bhav is simple. Surrender to Bhagavan, get Jivan Mukti. That's the main purpose. If somebody wants to visit any of these, then if you want to ask which karma to do so that I can visit this and enjoy these, maybe you have to read some other Puranas also and then find out. I am not aware. My interest anyway is in Mukti. Get the Mukti. What is the point in going to Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala or Svargaloka or Brahmaloka or Tapoloka? We can know because the Shastra says, but the main import of the Shastra in saying all this is to make us understand this entire realm is relative. So Vairagya is to have no desire for any of these. And remember, Bhagavatam is to strengthen Jnana and Vairagya. If we say that, no, we want to enjoy these things, then some way Bhogavritti gets strengthened. But ultimately that one will get dissipated and disillusioned with that, and finally it will bring to Vairagya only. So whether one goes through that indulgence and finally realizes on one's own and then seeks the path of Mukti, or through this study and understanding itself, one can come to that conclusion कि भाई this whole thing is there, okay. But no matter where one goes, Jiva Bhav will remain. Avidya is there, Apurnata will be there. So what is the point? Why go anywhere? Realize the truth here and now, having got the human birth. So strengthen the Jnana and Vairagya. So that's the main purpose. Now coming to this description now. Atala and Vitala. So what happens in Atala and Vitala? So let us see. This all descriptions are given here now. So in the region of Atala, the demon Bala, the son of Maya, by whom indeed they say were released 96 varieties of conjuring tricks, some of which are practiced even today. And so, they are used to cheat people. So here he says that from the mouth of this demon Bala, even as he was yawning, sprang up three groups of women called Swairinis, those copulating with men of their class alone, Kaminis, copulating with people of other classes too, and Pumschalis, the most fickle-minded among the Kaminis. All these women render a man entering his subterranean region sexually fit by giving them an elixir called Hataka and afford them sexual delight at will. So they say, by their peculiar dalliances and sportive glances, love-begotten smiles, affectionate talks and embraces, etc. When that elixir is taken, a man begins to feel that he is all-powerful, that he is all-perfect, and thinking himself as possessing the strength of 10,000 mighty elephants, brags like one blinded by intoxication. So the point is what? These lower realms actually are much more indulgence oriented than the Swarga, which means they can create. So one is they can exhaust vasanas of that person, whoever, whatever karmas they have, it will exhaust. but it will also create dissipation. They will have all this, this elixir is given and so one feels. But remember, this is all illusorily created. That's why it is said here. The man begins to feel like that and starts bragging. And in the beginning, it was said, now this Bala, uh, from his yawning itself, these were created. So this whole realm below is a very illusory realm. No doubt the entire Srishti is illusory. In that there are levels of illusion. This is much more deeper level of illusion. So it appears very real, but not very real. Then below Atala is Vitala. So now below Atala in Vitala who resides? So it is said Lord Shiva resides, known by the name of Hatakeshwara. So he is the master of gold mines. Hataka is gold. He is the lord of gold. Surrounded by troops of ghosts, forming his retinue and united with his divine consort Parvati under the name of Bhava, for multiplying the creation of Brahma. From him has issued the great river Hataki, charged with the energy of both Lord Bhava and goddess Bhavani, where fire kindled by the wind absorbs with great vigor the water of the river, and the same thrown out is condensed into the gold known by the name of Hataka, which both males and females in the gyneciums of the Asura chiefs wear in the form of ornaments. So one may say that, Acha, but Bhagwan Shiva is supposed to be living in Kailas. So yes, Shiva, Parvati in that form live in Kailash. Here they live as Bhava and Bhavani. Bhava is one of the 11 Rudras of Bhagwan Shiva. 11 Rudras, Bhagwan took the avatar. So Bhava is one of those 11 Rudras. And those 11 Rudras were created by Brahmaji and 11 Rudranis were created to take the creation forward. So that's what is mentioned here, that they stay down here. Then below that is a Sutala. Now, below in the region of Sutala resides free from all fear even to this day the demon king Bali of sacred renown, the illustrious son of Virochana, the grandson of Prahladji. Who is grandson of Prahladji? Bali Raja. Virochan is the son. Then Prahladji. So the point is, Vaman Bhagwan pushed him there when he placed the feet on his head. That we know the Vaman avatar story, it will come further also. So when he was sent there, now many people think that, oh, he was condemned to hell, but see, this is a heaven. More about this we will say, then I will come to that prasang. So yes, Bhagwan took avatar through Kashyap Rishi Aditi Devi and became Vaman avatar, and then asked the boon of 3 steps to this King Bali, and King Bali offered, and then with 2 steps he covered the earth and the higher worlds. Now he is asking where to put my 3rd step. So Bali Raja offers himself. So that's the basic story. And here what happens? He was admitted, means he was sent into this realm, Sutala Loka. It's not that he got crushed under the feet and died. No, he went to Sutala Loka through the grace of Bhagwan and endowed once more with overflowing wealth, which is not forthcoming even with Indra and others, and continues to worship the same adorable Lord through performance of his duty. The great fortune which is enjoyed by Bali in the subterranean region of Sutala is certainly not the direct result of gift made by him of land, inasmuch as it was duly bestowed with supreme piety and with a calm and composed mind full of highest regard on the celebrated Lord Vasudeva. It is not just because of his punya karma that he has come here. It is because of grace of Bhagwan that he has come. That's the point. So, a man helplessly, involuntarily uttering his name only once, even while sneezing, falling down, or stumbling, or on other such occasions, actually shakes off without delay the shackles of karma that tied a person down to the worldly existence. The person shakes off the shackles of karma. Um, the means of overcoming which the seekers of liberation find in altogether different processes. So, various sadhaks apply different sadhanas to destroy the shackles of karma, like karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, which are all difficult to follow. But taking the name of the Lord is the simplest. So, even when it is done unconsciously, or when in this tasks like sneezing, falling down, stumbling, etc. And that's why we say if somebody sneezes or falls, then different expressions are used. Hare Ram, Shiva Shiva, like that. One takes Bhagwan's name. We don't use any, slang words and all that. That is the tradition that, okay, whichever way, in whatever state one is, try and take Bhagwan's name as much as possible. So the fortune uh, is the fruit of that. The fortune that Sutal he got, no, the Bali Raja he got, is because of that, not because of the gift of land he made. Um, and hence, the idea here is that's the power of Bhagwan's name. Nor indeed can it be said that the Lord showered his grace on Indra in that he bestowed on him only the illusory pleasures of the sense affluence. So Indra got back his heaven when Bali Raja went to Sutalok. Bali Raja had conquered the Devalok and he was doing a yajna. In that Bhagwan came. So when Bhagwan sent him to Sutalok, Indra got back his place. But what is the point of that? Sutalok he went to and Bhagwan blessed him with satsang there. That will come now, you see. So certain things Bali Raja said. Because of that, he came to Sutalok. Very nicely, it is explained here now. So when Indra was given back this his svarga, then what happened to Bali Raja? He all the three worlds he had conquered. Now he is not anymore the sovereign of the three worlds, and he was thrown into a mountain cave, tightly bound with the cords of Varuna by the Lord. When three places of land were asked by him, that Bali Raja, he did not find any other means to free himself. He is bound by Varuna Pasha. So there he utters these words. And what are they? So he says here that Nunam Bata, so this prose. Nunam Batayam Bhagavan Artheshu Na Nishnataha Yo Asau Indro Yasya Sachivo Mantraya Vritta Ekantato Brihaspatihi Tam Itihaya Swayam Upendrena Atmanam Atmanam Yachatam Yachatatmanas Chashisho No Eva Taddasyam Atigambhira Vayasaha Kalasya Manvantara Parivrittam Kilyo Katra Yam Idam. So he says, um, Indra is not very clever. Raja Bali is saying to Bhagwan, he's praying, no? So he's saying Indra is not very clever uh, in attaining the objects of his life, whatever the pleasures, etc. He wanted that he got back. And his counselor, his guru is Brihaspati, exclusively chosen by him for deliberation. He ignored that sage and asked me through Lord Vamana himself for the sovereignty of three worlds. So, because of Indra to get the kingdom back, Devaloka back, Indra asked Bhagwan, Bhagwan took avatar, and then through Vaman avatar, he got back he gave back the three worlds to Indra. So, Bali Raja is laughing at Indra. And he's not very intelligent. He got back his three worlds and on no account the service of the Lord. So he did not get Seva of Bhagwan. He got back his uh, enjoyment, sense pleasure. Heaven he got back. So what is the use of these three worlds, he says, which change hands at the end of a Manvantara, which again, in some, from our standpoint, we think Manvantara is a very long period of time. But from another higher standpoint, it is only a fraction of a second, is a minute or a fraction of time which has an infinite duration. It is well known that my grandfather, the great devotee Prahlad, asked for his service only. He asked only for Seva of Bhagwan, but not the throne of his father. Hiranyakashipu, when he was killed, Prahladji did not want the throne. He anyway was remembering Bhagwan all the time, and then he served, he surrendered to Bhagwan. Now, Bhagwan made him the uh, king of the demons. But he didn't ask. He asked only for service of the Lord, but not the throne, which had no fear from any quarter, even though it was being offered by the Lord on the latter's death, only because it was something other than the Lord. These are very nice things what he has said. Remember, imagine Bali Raja, he is supposed to be an Asura, but see the impact. Hiranyakashipu, after that Prahladji. Prahladji is Virochan. Virochan's son is Bali. So Bali Raja knows that there is nothing greater than service of the Lord, there is nothing greater than being one with the Lord. And you may say that, but why was he doing the yajna and all that? And he has won over the three worlds. He has won over the three worlds, there is no doubt. At one stage in life, in evolution, one can attain a certain level where one wants power, position, name, fame. But the point is, in and through all that, when one has seen it, that must finally bring vairagya and it should bring more bhakti. So now this is what has happened to him. That is the grace factor on him also, and his punya karma and Prahladji's bhakti. So many things come together. Bali Raja has this vairagya as well as bhakti. So he says that my grandfather Prahladji, he didn't seek a throne because that's other than Bhagwan, and he only wanted to be in service of the Lord. So, what individual like me whose passions have not been attenuated and who has totally rejected the Lord's grace can possibly hope to tread in the footsteps of that noble soul? So he says, what will I get? My vasanas are not exhausted. I have rejected Bhagwan. So, in this chapter, it is said, more description about this episode will come in the 8th canto. But this chapter says, who is at the doorstep of Bali Raja? He is Bhagwan himself. See that. At whose door stays, mace in hand, the divine Narayana himself, the adored of the whole universe. See that. Prahladji wanted to serve Bhagwan. He didn't want a throne. But here Bali Raja is, Narayan Bhagwan is serving Bali Raja as his Dwarpal. And further it will also be said that Bali Raja got the satsang of Prahladji also. Bhagwan said, you be here and give him satsang continuously. and I will be the Dwarpal. So Bhagwan has become his Dwarpal. Prahlad is giving him satsang continuously. And for whatever limit time period he has to be there, that guarantee is there that Prahlad will give him the satsang. So this is what happened to him. When he went to Sutala Lok, he became the king of Sutala Lok. That Sutala Lok enjoyments are more subtler and pleasurable than even heaven. So how did Bali Raja lose anything? People say, no, what a injustice was done, and today all kinds of politics people play on that. That Vamana is a Brahmana and Bali Raja he was a Dalit, and this is Brahminical oppression on the Dalit, all kinds of ignorance. Bali Raja is not even in human form. He is a Daitya. Where is the question of Dalit coming into play? Just because they are depicted like that in terms of, in the pictures, etc., they will be depicted as dark in color, and then the Devatas are depicted as fair in color. But that is a depiction. That does not mean that they are Dalit and then the Brahminical oppression on the Dalits. That is all stupidity when one does not even know properly what is given in the scripture. And when he surrendered voluntarily. Na? Did Bhagwan do anything for that? And if somebody says, no, no, but Bhagwan did chal, 3 steps of land he asked when he was a dwarf. So those with that feat he should have taken 3 steps. But he increased in size. Bhagwan increases himself in size. He had not signed a contract saying terms and this will be like this with this small feet only I will take. He said 3 steps of land. It could be any. A contract always has terms and conditions apply. One has to read between lines also. Point one. Point two, Bhagwan cheated anybody? Everything belongs to Bhagwan. Bhagwan takes his own, how does it? There is no cheating in that. This Srishti of Bhagwan, we feel that this is mine, and then we try to possess it. Then who is a thief actually? We are the thief, not Bhagwan. And what is the net result? Finally, one has to see that. Did Bhagwan destroy Bali Raja? That's what people think because we don't read the scripture. Bali was pushed into the lower realms where he had to suffer. What is the use of surrendering to Bhagwan? He surrendered to Bhagwan and he got Sutala Lok. Bhagwan became his Dwarpal, and Prahladji Satsang he got. What more one wants? So, this is what happened. So in Sutala Lok. So more about Bali Raja, it will come in the 8th canto. So Atala Lok, Vitala Lok, Sutala Lok, then Talatala. Talatala, this Maya Danav, he remains there, the lord of 3 cities, who had all the 3 cities reduced to ashes by Lord Shiva, Tripurasuras. In his eagerness to bring happiness to all the 3 worlds, but who later on secured a footing in this realm by his grace, by Bhagwan's grace only. Is Maya Danav, he is there, and by Shivji's grace. He is a teacher of all those who are expert in conjuring tricks, stands protected on the sides by the great deity Lord Shiva, and therefore immune from the fear of Sudarshana, and is held in great respect by the people of that region. So Mayadana's job is to create people who can create further illusions in this bigger realm of illusory creation. It's like how you have IIM and IIT, etc., to produce management professionals, science professionals. Like that, he produces magic professionals, those who will do illusory. What is it called nowadays? Illusionists. Different terms they have nowadays. In illusionists and magicians and intermentalist and whatnot. Each one does something different. So that way that he stays in Talatala Loka. So if you want to learn magic and all that, then you go here. You want to create illusions and mesmerize and hypnotize and make people believe in something which is not real. Go to Talatala Lok. Then Mahatala lives a many-headed brood of serpents, born of Kadru, called Krodhavashas. The chief of them being Kuhaka, Takshaka, Kaliya, Sushena, and so on. So these are some of the major Nagas, and they stay there. Though possessed of a gigantic form, they are constantly afraid of Garuda. So somewhere somebody is afraid of Sudarshana, here somebody is afraid of Garuda. In some form or the other, fear remains. Till one doesn't realize Brahman, fear will remain. So, afraid of Garuda. Who carries on his back Bhagavan Vishnu. Sometimes they sport recklessly through attachment to their wives, offspring, relations, and kinsmen. So this is Mahatala. So Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala. Then Rasatala. So in Rasatala, who is there? Like the serpents, the sons of Diti and Danu. They are the wives of again Kashyap Rishi. So Diti's children are called Daityas, Danu's children are called Danavas. So some of them, they are called, known as the Panis, and further divided into three classes. The Nivata Kavachas, the Kaleyas, and the denizens of Hiranyapura. They all are natural enemies of gods, so Devatas, so Diti and Aditi. So Devatas are children of Aditi, children of Diti are this Daityas, and then children of Dhanva, Danavas. So they are natural enemies. Daityas and Danavas are one side, and Devas are one side. So he says here, they are very powerful enemies of gods, extremely daring by birth, their pride of strength being quelled only by brilliant weapon of Sri Hari. And thanks to the threats in the form of sacred Vedic texts employed by Sarama, the female messenger of Indra, they are afraid of that ruler of gods. Just a minute. So these Daityas and Danavas, they are uh, afraid of this ruler of gods. So one footnote is given here about Pani. So footnote says here that according to a Vedic legend, the Panis once stole away the earth and hid it underwater. Indra sent down a heavenly bitch, the mother of the canine race, Sarama, by name, to trace out the globe. The Panis tried to confer with Sarama with a view to compromise, but Sarama spurned their offer and uttered the following words by the way of a threat. Killed by Indra, lie down on the battlefield, O Panis. The Panis are terribly afraid of Indra. The legend further tells us ever since they heard this threat from the mouth of Sarama. So this the footnote is about Sarama, not Panis, sorry. So the footnote is about Sarama, and this Sarama is the canine, female messenger of Indra. So these Daityas and Danavas, they are afraid of Sudarshan, as well as they are afraid of the threats in the form of sacred Vedic texts, which are employed by this Sarama. This is Rasatala, and the last is Patal. So in the Patal dwells the Lord of the realm of Nagas. So Shankha, Kulika, Mahashankha, Shweta, Dhananjaya, Dhritarashtra, Shankachuda, Kambala, Ashwatara, Devadatta, and others. These are all lords of the realm of Nagas. different uh, what you call important nagas, maybe in charge of different regions of that loka. So all provided with extensive hoods and extremely furious nature, the chief of whom is Vasuki. The big and shining gems fixed on the hoods of these serpents that are possessed of 5, 7, 10, 100, and in some cases even 1,000 heads drive away by their splendor the mass of darkness in the Patala. So now these are all the 7 subterranean heavens. Now, when the subterranean heavens have been described, this entire thing is supported by Anantanaga. That's why one says that the universe is resting on Ananta. That is from this, one of the description, maybe in other Puranas also, but one of the description is from this. So this next chapter tells us about that how this whole thing is supported by Ananta. And also the hellish planets, which are 28 planets below, 28 realms below, that will come. So 25 and 26, chapter 25 and 26, they will give this description, and with that this particular canto comes to an end. So that we will take up in our next class. I don't want to start a new chapter now. We'll take it up in the next class, and then we can complete one chapter, at least 25, and then some part of 26. So for today we will stop here. Any questions? Okay.
मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की, मंगल प्रीति रीति गुण की, मंगल कांति हसनी दसगन की, मंगल मुरली दीना धुन की, मंगल आरती। मंगल बनिक त्रिभंगी हरि की, मंगल सेवा सब सहचर की, मंगल सिर चंद्रिका मुकुट की, मंगल छवि नयन में अत की, मंगल आरती। पभी अंग अंग की, मंगल गौर श्याम रंग की, मंगल अति कटि पियरे पट की, मंगल चितमणि नागर नट की, मंगल आरती। मंगल शोभा कमल नयन की, मंगल माधुरी मृदुल पैन की, मंगल वृंदावन मद अटकी, मंगल क्रीडन जमुना तट की, मंगल आरती। मंगल चरण अरुण तरुवन की, मंगल करणी भगति हरिजन की, मंगल जुगल प्रिया बावन की, मंगल श्री राधा जीवन की, मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की, मंगल प्रीति रीति दोनों की मंगल आरती मंगल आरती। राधावर कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतो यमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की।
ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।